Okay, we're still on chapter 2 here. We didn't quite get through the charts last time, so we'll kind of take up where we left off from last time, and we'll see how far we get. Most of what we covered last time is in parts 1, 2, and 3 of the chapter 2, and there's a few things in part 3 that aren't in here, and we may talk about those. Anyway, let's begin with our starting prayer here. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen. So let's see, where did we leave off? I think we left off at the interrogatives, if I remember correctly, or somewhere down there. Let's see. No. Here it is. Yeah, so interrogative pronouns. We'll start here anyway. We got a little farther than this. Who, whom, whose, what, i.e., the key here is interrogative. It asks a question. So in Latin, as with any nouns, the interrogative pronouns must agree in genus, numerus, and casus, gender, number, case, with the missing noun. So if we say, who is Marcus, we would say quis, since that's masculine. If we would want to know who is Julia, then we would say que est Julia, sorry. And or quis Jesus est, que mater Jesus est. Now, if it is unknown, meaning you have no idea, okay, like somebody knocks on your door, you say quis est, who is it? If there's no, the generic, if you want, who, when the person is unknown, is quis. For neuter, quid. And not only the thing with neuter is it's not a who, you know, it is a what. So quid is the neuter form. And as I said, quis, que, oh, we're getting all sorts of folks. Quis, que are for people, but quid is for things. So quid is quid, quid, the usual gender rule does not apply, meaning quid est Creta. Creta here is feminine, and you might want to think, I need to use que because que is feminine. Well, then you're asking who is Crete. Implying that there's somebody running around in this world with the name of Crete. Now, so masculine quis or qui. Oh, sorry, plural. Oh, see, I thought here it is, singular. Plural. Can't even remember my own charts. Quis becomes qui viri sunt, who are the men. Que becomes the same. Que filiae sunt. Quid que oppida sunt. What are the cities? And here's the whole table. They sort of follow the pattern for the masculine and feminine and neuter nouns we already have, sort of. In the plural, feminine, que, quatum, well, that works pretty well. But then you're going to see this thing called quibus, And what you're going to find out later on is actually this follows something called the third declension more closely than it does the first or second, but don't worry about that. So let's see now. So quis est? Who art thou? We haven't had all the versions of the verb to be. Sum, I am. Es, thou art. Est, we have had. He, she, it is. Sumus, we are. Estis, y'all are. And then sunt, which you've had. He, they are. But qui viri sunt, who are the men? Quae mater Jesu est, who, mother, those two match. Jesu est. For the possessive, huius filius dicit, whose son is speaking. Quarum filiae canunt, whose daughters are singing. Okay. Quid est Creta? What is Crete? Quae insulae sunt? What are islands? Now, this is all probably a bit confusing, but you'll find that as you get through the reading and more practice, it will make. Yes, you can have. Okay, Teresa asks about cuius versus cu. Well, hold on. Let me add a slide here. Whoop. Oh, hey, there's Allison. Okay. Okay. Cuius versus cuius. They're pronounced the same way. All right. An I, standalone I, if it is short, is an I sound, as in pit. Here, let me do it this way. Talent. There we go. As in pit. Okay. Let's see here. There. Now I can type. A long I is, let's do long is an kind of an E sound. Okay. So cuius is neither of those two sounds. So it's known as, neither is Julius, by the way. If you looked in the, as you read along, you heard the word Julius. So the I as a consonant, sort of, is a Y sound. Okay. Cuius. So this is the, let's call it the classical spelling, if you wish, or the historical spelling. This is how the Romans spelled it. But what happened, in Italy around the 13th, 14th century, is they began distinguishing between the consonant I and the vowel I. And so they began putting in a J. So how many people have heard of Ursa Major or Ursa Major, the big bear? It's a constellation. It's not a football team. Okay, so Ursa Major is how that's spelled and pronounced. It really means, or you could say, the bigger bear. And that is where, by the way, the Big Dipper resides. The Big Dipper is part of the Ursa Major. But you will often see it spelled Ursa major, and that's because in the later part of the medieval period, and especially when the advent of printing, they tended to put the J's in there. And of course, we bought it wholesale from Latin, and we pronounce it major, but it's actually Ursa Major. As to which is correct, they're both correct. Okay, one is not wrong. Okay, for many, probably 3 centuries prior, I'm thinking, say prior to the Second Vatican Council, you tended to see the J in a lot of things. Okay, but in more modern times, there has been a push to standardize the spelling back to what the Roman spelling was, traditional Roman spelling, and actually was the spelling for centuries before the J snuck in there. Now, there are those people who will maintain that we need to use the J because it distinguishes between the I sign sound and then the consonant I, and they actually do have a point, but you're not gonna if you look in older hand missals, you're probably going to see the J, and if you look at more modern ones, then you're probably going to see the I. So it's like, the good example is you can see Jesus, or you can see Jesus. There we go. Either one. And yeah, in any case, it's pronounced like a Y. Okay. All right, where were we? Oh, no. Okay, next slide. So just to kind of summarize, Latin uses quis and quae for who questions. Those are for people. Quis Jesus est, quis mater Jesus, quis est. Latin uses the neuter form for what questions, i.e. for things. Well, not just things, but animals, etc., for non-people. So quid est creta. Latin uses cuius for whose questions. So cuius filius est, whose son is this? I took that straight from Matthew 22:42. Of course, there's a whole lot more to that line. So, and again, interrogative pronouns must agree in genus, numerus, and casus. So are there any questions on quis and quae and quid and cuius and all the others? Okay. I will assume not. So the last one in the chapter is quat. Now this one is really easy. Quat means how many. So quat liberi sunt in familia, how many children are in the family. The way Latin asks what time is it is not quid hora est, but rather quat hora est. Literally, how many hours is it? Okay. And then quat panes habetis, how many loaves have ye? Mark 8:5. That's when it has to do with the loaves and the fishes. So it doesn't matter whether it's singular, plural, masculine, feminine, neuter, whatever. Quat is indeclinable. I think that's our first actual indeclinable word in the Familia Romana. I can't recall any others. So be happy that that's all you need. Any questions there?
Michael, I got a question that Liberi.
Liberi.
Liberi. I'm
Long I.
confused.
Liberi.
Liberi.
Yes.
I'm getting confused on that word. It sounds like it has a dual meaning. One, it could mean, like you're saying, how many children, or I guess how many free people there are versus how many books there are.
Okay, all right. If you recall, and let me see if I can find it. Let's see here. Oh, here it is. Liber with a short I means book.
Okay.
Okay, le. I'm not sure. Let's see. Is there a good way to remember le? Unfortunately, library uses a long I. And if you've ever seen a book plate, it has ex libris, but you probably pronounced it ex libris, as most people do in English. But book is liber. Or think of it as literature. Okay. A book is literature. So you want a short I. Maybe that'll work.
Got it.
You're right that liber does mean child, and liber, libera, liberum means free, as in not a slave, not cost.
Well, that's how I took it. It's not a slave, so it must be the free people. So I'm
well, no, they are two words that are very close. For now, you just have this one and this one. I don't think these are in the, well, let me see. Let me do a quick check here.
See, what I did is I looked in the dictionary and I'm saying, okay, free. So I know the kids, they're not slaves, so therefore they, they're the free people, so they got to be the children of the parents.
Yeah, let me look here. I think, let's see here. Oh, I didn't go far enough. Hold on here. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, let me pop this up on the screen.
God, well, I got another question for that liber.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
One thing, okay, so if you look at the last section of each chapter, it will list all of the name, all of the nouns, all of the vocabulary, or all of the new vocabulary. Yeah, so you see here that it has a short I, which is a book. And where is the long I? Alex has come here. Surely there is a long I in here someplace. Oh, there it is. Liberi. Okay. See, these are going to be your children, and these are going to be your books. And later on, you'll learn the adjective form. So at the moment, it is either a book or a child. And the way you tell is whether there is a macron. If there is a macron over the I, then it's a child. And if there is not, then it is a book.
Okay, so they have liber as a free.
Liber for book and liber for child.
Okay, liber is a free male child. What would be a free?
Well, no. Liber is a child.
Okay, well, it shows here a free male child. That's it.
Liber.
And see what I did. I said, well, it's not a slave, so it's got to be,
Well, you could have a child slave. All right.
True.
Michael, one thing that I don't think we've discussed in this round of classes is that the long vowels are held a tad longer than, with the ones in macron are held a little bit longer than the other vowels, and that's one way of telling which word it is.
Well, yeah, but in the case of these three, It means free. So, but the point is here is a liber is a free child. Okay. All right.
And that's how they would repeat that word.
No,
liber-
they would say liber for child. Okay. The only reason I bring this up is, okay, this was in the, let's see, where was it? Oh, where'd we put it here?
Oh, you just passed it, I think.
Yeah, no, okay. Did I put it in here? Okay. We talked about, I know it's in here. How to tell apart the words with the same endings, okay?
Okay,
All
cool.
right. So in this case, all right, let me put it this way. Liber can be child, right?
Right,
Okay. Liber can also mean free.
correct.
Okay. So what is a liber?
It's got to be a free child.
It's got to be a free male child, not a slave. But what is a liber?
Let me hold on. Okay, it's a well, the second one, liber, is a book, and the first one is again free or a child.
Well,
Or
okay,
not a slave.
so child book. Does that make sense?
No,
No. Free book. Well, certainly free books, but in really what we mean is an emancipated book. Yeah, a non-slave book. So that doesn't make any sense either. So liber is meaningless.
oh, okay.
Okay. So for the purposes of chapter 2, you really only have to deal with these guys. Okay. You
Okay,
have to deal with these guys yet.
okay,
And if you say liber or liber or liberi for children or child, it doesn't say anything about their status as citizens or not, or slaves.
right.
Okay. They're just children.
Okay, what happened, what I did is I went on to like chapter 3, and they show the two different scrolls or the two different books, how they change.
Right.
One was the modern, one was the other one. And I think I'm having a hard problem. I'm not paying attention to the
To the macrons.
macrons,
No, macrons.
macrons.
Think of macaroni. Yeah. Think
I
of
know, I just-
macaroni. You know how
Okay.
macaroni has different shapes? Well,
Right.
macrons have different shapes. Okay.
Yeah, between the macrons and then oh, okay. So, well, see, I'm getting the microns. I thought they were either it's going to be a long or short, right?
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah. What I did here is I went ahead and marked the short.
Okay, I think I'm overreading this and overanalyzing, because then I went to that. It was the Libra, the Libri, is that how you say it? Libri books?
Yeah. Short I. Libri.
Oh, okay, okay, my eyes are failing me. Yeah, it's a short, yeah, I thought it was a long.
Yeah.
Long
No, I intentionally put the little,
The little Julia.
we can do this. Let's see here. Let's,
God, I'm sorry.
whoop, there we go. Now
Oh,
there's
okay.
no excuse.
Yes, thank you. Can't
Yeah,
blame
I
that.
put I put the short marking simply to distinguish it because I wanted to emphasize it basically.
Got it. Okay,
So,
thank
Okay.
you.
and let's see, where were we? Let's see here. I think we'd finished these. Yeah, we had just finished this. Oh, we had finished quat for how many? Okay. Any questions on books or interrogative pronouns? Okay, good. All right, conjunctions. Oh, interesting. I spelled it with the J. Oh, well, that just goes to show you that I am not. I wonder if it was, I'll have to check the book if they put I usually copy it from the book. I'll have to check that. Let's see here. Give me just a second here. This is for my own. Let's see, it would be in. Guess what? Oh, no, you know what? Okay. Nope, this is my English leaking through. There. Anyway, conjunction, it's just a word that joins sentence together, clauses or phrases. Latin has quite a few. But for chapter 2, the only ones that I'm aware of are and but. Now we've already had but, said. Let's see, like Britannia insula parva non est, sed insula magna est. Okay.
Sed libra nos amalo.
Said libra nos amalo as well, yes. But the other one is et and he. Actually, that's not a conjunction. That's a really. Did they?
Well, it is when you add it to a noun.
Oh, sorry, you're right.
Yeah.
Be a conjunction. No, it can. It can join two sentences together. Sorry, I'm thinking of something else. So there's two ways to do an and in Latin: the et or the ending te. So you can say Marcus et Julia sunt liberi, okay, or Marcus Juliaque sunt liberi. That's a little hard to me. That's a little hard to put that ending on there. So I would probably always say Marcus et Julia. But if you've ever done the creed in Latin, qui ex patri filioque procedit, who from the Father and the Son proceeds. So you will see that from time to time. And the important thing to keep in mind is that the QUE ending is only used to join two nouns, never three. You would not say, you can use et. Let's see. Let's say we wanted to say Marcus et Quintus et Julia. You would not say Marcus Quintusque Juliaque. You would say Marcus et Quintus et Julia. Okay. Now, the way they said.
I was going to say, could you say Marcus et Quintus et
No.
Juli?
No.
Juliaque?
No.
Why?
You only use it for two nouns next to each other. Just only two nouns.
Okay.
Yeah. Look at it this way: two's company and three's a crowd.
Okay, so I'm reading it. See, I'm reading it the Marcus and Quintes.
Yes.
Quintus is kind of like a compound, and then
Well, yeah. I suppose, yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's only to join two nouns together. Now, et is also used in the sense of both. Yeah, there was a case where the three children's names together with the que was there.
yeah,
I'll dig that up in the example. That it had to do with the way it wasn't that there were three nouns together, it's that they had two nouns grouped off with one, and then they had the other noun separate. And
I think it was two masculine nouns and one.
yeah, there was the two masculines and the one feminine.
think that's what it
I'll
was.
try and dig that up in the text here. The other thing is et is used in the sense of both. So et Marcus et Julia sunt liberi. Both Marcus and Julia are children. Thank you, line 8. And you use et for 3 or more nouns. You do not use commas. Oh, actually, I should get rid of this. There we go. This is what I had. Marcus et Quintus et Julia sunt liberi. Really did not, you really don't see that construction in Latin. You don't see part of it. Keep in mind that commas are relatively late on the scene. Punctuation was developed. I think you first see it. Well, yeah, you see it in the 1500s. But it's really the 16 and 1700s that you really begin to see punctuation. So the way the Romans basically did it is Marcus et Quintus et Julia sunt liberi. All right, let's go look at 8 before we get too far. Line 8. Well, let's look at it. And they occasionally have a typo, as some of you have found. So, but let me look here. All right, let's see. And I will share this. Whoops, I got to go back one. Line 8. Yeah, okay, they did do the list. Yeah, all right, they're gonna make liars out of me. Let's see, Julius Pater S. Julius Pater. Whoa. I'm looking at, you said it was line 8. I thought there was a quoque in here, or I mean a QUE. Where'd it go? Well, I don't see it. I'll have to look for it later. But
Michael,
yeah,
it's on line 13.
13, okay. 10, 11, 12, 13, Quintus.
Were you looking for, weren't you looking for quoque?
No, I'm looking for a
Just the quay, right?
and
Oh,
I'm looking for it
I misunderstood you.
for more than 3 nouns.
Oh,
And let's
I think it's the next page.
all right. Julia. Pater.
Pater Juliae. No, that's not it.
Yeah, see, Quintus Juliaque sunt.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. Marcus Quintus Juliaque sunt tres liberi. I don't recall ever seeing that in class in ecclesiastical Latin. Actually, let me consult my dictionary here and see if it has any. Let's see here. Oh, it probably doesn't have it. Let's see here. QUE. Okay, conjugation and clitic. To the word it annexes. I will have to read up. I'll have to read up on that. I may have that wrong.
Michael, could it be line 20? That
No,
that's
this is the one. This is right. Yeah, line 21. Yeah,
line 20 to 21, right?
yeah,
Where that's where they're using all 3
yeah.
nouns, and they're using quicque for huli.
No,
Quay.
just quay.
Huli quay. God, that's a tongue twister.
Yeah, okay. And this is something, and they may have just stuck that on there. Usually the Latin authors generally will write sentences in a very easy to pronounce, tends to roll off the tongue.
Right, but
Now-
you're saying, but we have all three nouns, and in that third one,
Yeah,
hulique, well, you're saying that's not supposed to happen.
I don't think that's supposed to happen. I don't know if they put that in there as a lesson. Actually, let me see what it.
See, that's some of the stuff, and then when I go to do the actual exercises, man, I sit there and I go, oh man, I read this again, and it seems like I get more and more confused.
Here. Attached. Yeah, see, instead of et, you often find the conjunction quat attached after the second word. See, I don't ever recall it being in the third word.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You said.
So I think they did that for an example. I will double check that, however. The guy that wrote it, by the way, the guy that wrote this part wrote the Latin, but I think that is actually a mistake. Or rather, well, let me rephrase that.
It's something out of the ordinary.
I think he cheated a bit.
He's being lazy.
Well, and also, I mean, what happened, which you will see is what were like neologisms will sometimes percolate across English or the other European languages into Latin. So yeah, I would say it's probably certainly anybody would understand it. I mean, it's pretty clear what it is, but I don't think I just don't recall seeing it that way. And yeah, actually, when I read that chapter, I remember thinking, well, that's kind of odd. So, but I'll double check that. I have some better. Well, I have some more detailed grammars than that.
Okay.
Michael?
Yeah.
I'm trying to make sure I understand you. Are you saying that not only is it more usual to have the que after the second word, but it's improper or incorrect to have it after a third word?
It is certainly unusual. I cannot recall any cases off the top of my head where the third noun in the group had the QUE ending. It's always two nouns, and the Latine disco seems to imply that that's the case as well.
Well, going back to that sentence.
Oh, now I gotta change screens. Okay, there we go.
Would you have said Marcus Quintus Quae at Julia?
No. I would have said Marcus et Quintus et Julia
Right.
sunt
Yeah,
tres
'cause
idea.
it reads funny to say Quintus Quae.
Yeah,
You would just use at all
I
of
would
them.
use that across all three of these.
Yeah.
Okay.
In general, would you do that if you had three or more
Yes.
words? Okay.
Yes. The only time I would use two is if the only time I'd use the QUE is if there are two nouns. And actually it can start with the et or it can start without the et.
So in other words, you're using the que for et.
Yeah, English really doesn't have an exact doesn't really have a version of that. We always have an and. No, the et is generally for both, but you can
Right.
also do that for three or more nouns. Marcus et Quintus.
Yeah, right.
So,
And I'm just saying, if it's just the two nouns, then you'd use the quay instead of the.
yeah,
Are
well,
you
actually,
thinking
I'm
the-
also answering Drina's question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, yeah, I would, line 8, let's see here. Whoops, I think I'm in the wrong section. No, I'm in the right section. I think he cheated there as well. That's usually separated with ets. I'll double check that. as
Oh,
well.
wow, yeah.
I'll double check that as well.
Hmm.
Make a note to myself. Okay. Oh yeah, but indicates an exception. Said Marcus liber est. Said Julius vir est. Works the same in English. In fact, we already had that in chapter 1. I think we did.
Michael, one more question.
Sure.
Um, there are some words where if they end in a vowel or they end in a consonant, that they're treated differently when you have a word that follows. So I'm wondering whether or not the quay would be more appropriate for a word that ends in a consonant than in a vowel, or does it matter?
Yes, but
you know-
it's not, no, yes, but it's not strictly consonant versus vowel. And
Okay.
I'll show you what I mean by that.
Well, I was thinking about and ob.
Yeah,
that-
so
Go
so
ahead.
anyway, qui ex patre. Qui ex patre. Hold on, let me double check. I always get tripped up on that one.
Well, filioque it
AT.
obviously ends in
Let me make sure we get
vowel followed by a consonant.
ablative. Okay. Now there's some of these third declension nouns that take eyes. Qui ex patre filioque prochated. All right, let me give an example here. Yeah.
Well,
a
obviously, she has
preceding
reduced
vowel
way.
is a lot easier. Filioque, that just rolls off the tongue.
Right.
But we also have totsi usque. Let's see. Darn it. Sifat donor sacrificial manuscript. Totsi usque. Yeah. Let me get the exact hold on, let me get the exact line here out of the liturgy, or I totally mangled it. Oh. And let me set back to that. There we go. So, all right, let me whoops, that's not what I want. I want my no, don't want that. Want that. There we go. Let's see, where is it? Oh dear. Of course. Come on. It is really annoying when the internet does not have the text from the mass you're looking for. Let's see here. Yeah, here it is. I'm getting there. Give me a minute. I didn't know this was going to be quite such a prediction. Okay. There we go. Now this is in the now actually this is in there's a form, the suscipiat is both in the extraordinary form and the ordinary form. And ad utilitatem quoque nostrum, literally for our, also for our good, totiusque ecclesiae sue sanctae, and the good of all the his holy church. So the totiusque here is not a vowel, but it is very easily pronounced with the QUE. All right. Now,
Uncle,
yeah.
I got knocked out somehow.
Oh,
All that shows up on my screen is Zoom.
really?
Yeah.
Can anybody else see my see the charts?
I'm all good on
I
my.
see it.
Somehow I didn't touch the screen. It just flipped to Zoom. Well,
Maybe you.
let me click to the back.
Yeah, well, you maybe touched the wrong window.
No, I did. Well, here, I'll just launch it again.
Okay. Because
I'm in it now.
I mean, we're hearing you.
I don't know what happened.
Huh? Spooks. Spooks. It's spooks. Trust me. So
Could I
anyway,
make a comment, Michael, also about this. I know what you're emphasizing here is just the et and que at the end, but also I think it's worth pointing out that if you have like ex patre filioque, that ex engenders an ablative ending.
oh, I
And-
don't want, nah, don't even want to talk about that right now.
All right, well, all I was going to say is about patre and filio.
Yeah.
What that when you have a preposition that precedes two words that have the at, that preposition affects both of the words. That's all,
Yes, it does.
not just one.
Now, the so anyway, yeah, you will see it with a vowel, getting back to the original question. You also see it after a soft consonant. So totiusque, okay? You could say nominisque, but you would probably not do it in front of, let's see, what's a good T ending word? Wow, can't think of a single T ending word in Latin. Okay. Cantatque is kind of hard to say. So you tend not to see it if there is a hard consonant. But that's only because, not that that's wrong, it's just that it is a bit awkward to pronounce. So you'll certainly see it in front of a vowel and a soft consonant. Hard consonants, okay, we're going to learn the word rex, king. So I don't think you'll see rexque. Well, maybe you will. I don't know. Anyway, the answer to your question, your original question, Alex, is not necessarily. It can be a consonant, as long as it's one that is easily the QUE is easily pronounced. Actually, rexque is not too bad. All right, where were we? Okay, so any other questions on the que as a conjunction? Nope. All right. So, well, we got a little bit of time. Actually, we got a lot of time left. Tell you what, let's switch over to the text itself
Yippee.
and find out if there are any questions about either section 1 or 2.
In section 2, the word centum, which equals C, which equals 100, I get kind of
Centum.
centum. Okay.
Centum. There are
uh,
no C's in Latin that are pronounced like an S. Okay.
Wait, say that again, please.
There are no C's in Latin that are pronounced like an S.
Oh,
For example, Caesar. We say that in English. Okay. Ceascer. That's if you were to stand in the middle of the Roman Forum in, say, 43 BC and shout the name Caesar, they'd all look at you like, where are you from? Gaul? You're a barbarian? Or something. No, it is in classical Latin, they're all hard. In ecclesiastical Latin, they're either hard, like cuius, or they are soft, like centum, or celi, or yeah, so it's either a hard C, like cuius or creta, or a soft C, like centum, but they are never a centum.
you know what it was? I was converting it to English.
Yes. So you speak a very fine Latinglish.
Yes, exactly. Well, if
Anyway, go ahead.
42, it says duo et tres numeri sunt. That means there are many. And then
Wait a minute. 42. Which line are you on?
oh, I'm in
Oh,
chapter
down there.
3.
Sorry, I'm not far enough. Excuse me. Go ahead. And actually, let me jump to the second reading here. I'm
Yes.
technically and there we go. Because yeah, here we go. So you want down here.
Correct.
So
So
et tres numeri sunt. Now, what do you think that means?
it means that duo and trace are many numbers. Are
No.
large.
No.
What?
Duo et tres are numbers.
Correct.
We would say 2 and 3 are numbers.
Okay.
Numerus means number. Unfortunately, in English, when we say numerous, we mean lots.
Right.
So, so numerus is one number. Numeri are 2 numbers.
Okay. Then the next line.
Yeah. Centum quoque numerus est. What do you think that means?
Okay. That centum is a lot of numbers.
No. Numerus means number, one number. Okay.
Okay. That's where I'm getting kind of goofy.
Yeah. Now, numerus means a number.
Correct. But
Does not mean numerous, does not mean long, does not mean big or small. States it just means it is a number. Okay.
so they're just saying that God, I might have mispronounced that word again.
Centum.
Centum quoque numerus est. So
Yes.
what they're saying is that centum is a number.
Yeah. Also. Quoque.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on here, there's one other.
Okay, let's do the next line. Numeris servorum est centum.
Wait a minute, the next line, what,
Or it's the next phrase, or the next.
numerous liberum est tres.
No, this part. Numeris servorum est centum.
What line is that?
It's 40, 41, 42, 43. We already, okay, we read duo et tres numeris sunt. And then we read centum quoque numerus est. Then after
Oh.
that is numerus servorum est centum. I got it highlighted on the screen.
No, yeah, I know, and I've got I bought the book too. So that way I wouldn't have to keep flip-flopping in the,
Okay,
but numerous servorum
should
est.
be at the bottom of the page.
Yeah, no, I got it. I'm in my mind, I'm trying to think what.
Okay,
So they're saying, servorum is plural, so that means there's a lot of slaves. So there's a lot of slaves?
no, the number of slaves is 100.
Oh, but okay, no, okay, that's where I got confused.
Yeah, don't think of
Now
the
you're saying
numerous.
100, but in the reading, there's only 4 slaves.
Well, okay, yes and no.
And I'm tying this into what we're reading.
Yeah, hold on. If you start out in the beginning, okay, let me go back here to. Yeah, here it is. Whoops, no, got to go a few more. There it is. There we go.
Okay.
You're right, there are 4 slaves here. Sira, Delia, Davus, and Medus, okay?
Correct.
But
numerous.
these are the, let's call them the 4 family slaves, for lack of a better head.
Okay.
Sira and Delia would be the
Female
handmaids
of Amelia.
yeah, Anciliae Ameliae, the handmaids of Amelia. And Davos et Medus, well, we don't know what they do yet. But okay, so let's see here.
See,
Okay,
they're always talking about the family, and then they get thrown for a loop. I'm sitting there going, because I'm trying to tie all this into like the story.
yeah,
And I don't know where I read that for that, it, to me, the way I read it, numerous servorum est, there probably is, but I don't remember reading that anywhere thus far. And that's where I got.
I believe that's the first place they mention it.
Yeah, because they say, here I go with that word again.
Okay, let's see. Hold on. Let me look in the book here. It'd be faster.
Okay.
Okay, where's the first place?
Julius was having a conversation with another gentleman where he mentioned.
Well, that's in part 3.
Oh, okay.
I am looking where they mention centum the first time. Let's see here. Let's see, centum was not a word in the last, section.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, later on you'll find in part 3. No, I'm sorry, actually farther down in part 2, I think. Let's see how far, where that is.
Well, I think that's,
Around line 75.
Yeah, there we go.
75, yeah.
Yeah, so what you're going to see here, oh, it's at part 3. All right, let me
well,
go.
it's part 3. I didn't, I stopped at.
No, it's in chapter 2.
Yeah, it's in chapter 2, but it's part 3.
Part 3.
I
Oh,
stopped at part 2.
Yeah, later on, you're going to find out. Let's go to 3 here, just for the heck of it. Let's see here. 2, 3. There we go. All right. So you're going to find out about another gentleman called Cornelius.
Right.
So
that's what I thought.
Cornelius Dominus Romanus est. Cornelius is a Roman master. I guess you could put that is. Julius et Cornelius duo domini Romani sunt. So Julius and Cornelius are 2 Roman masters. Medus non est servus Cornelii, meaning Medus is not the servant of Cornelius.
Correct.
Medus servus Julii est. So anyway, Cornelius and Julius get into a conversation, and this is where you find out. Let's see here.
Or it says Cornelius.
Quat
quote,
servi
quote,
sunt in familia tua.
Right.
Familia mea sunt centum servi. So in my family are 100 slaves. To which Cornelius says, what? Numerus servorum meorum est centum. The number of my slaves is 100. Which Cornelius says, centum servi. Manius est numerus servorum tuorum, meaning 100 slaves. Literally, big is the number of your servants. And so, yeah, all he's doing up there on part 2 is just saying that Julius has 100 slaves.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I mean, that's all he's saying.
Right. And then that last part where it says, where Cornelius answers, in that second part, Magnus est numerus servorum
Tuorum,
tuorum.
tuorum,
Tuorum? Hey, my mouth doesn't work.
tuorum,
Say that again. Tuorum.
tuorum.
Right, tuorum. That's what I thought I said. My mouth doesn't want to work with my mind.
Oh,
Magnus est numerus.
Manius.
Magnus means big.
Yes.
Big is the number. Oh, it's the way they speak. Why
Yeah,
can't they
they
just
speak
say,
in Latin. Isn't it annoying?
why can't they say many is the number of servants? Tutorum.
Well, okay. Literally what this mean is,
I'm jumping ahead.
well, Manius is big
Right.
and it's modifying numerus. So it's a big number.
Okay. You got me.
Yeah, well, you gotta, all right. When you
I
are,
gotta shut down my mind. I don't know.
yeah,
what it is.
no. When you're reading Latin, try not to translate.
Well,
Understand.
see, that's the problem. As I'm reading it, I'm translating it in my mind.
No, don't do that. Okay. Try not to do that.
Okay.
Now, I realize that's easier said than done. But if I read this, I would just say centum servi, and that's all I would say. I know, okay. If I told you there is a dog in my front yard, but if I said there is a canine in my front yard, would you sit there and take the word canine and translate it into dog? The answer is no, because
No, I just understand that. it's stuff.
yeah, dog and canine are the same word. Okay.
Correct.
So what you really need to do is flip a switch in your brain that says, okay, these are all Latin words, and try and not to, you want to understand it. Don't get me wrong. You don't want to just read it and not know what it means, but it's not a good idea, or well, let me rephrase that. you'll never be able to be proficient if you can't think in your foreign language.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Well, while you're looking, what I found out is when I read some of these, I have to go after a paragraph or two and read it at least 15 times. And by
Okay,
the 15th
that's all
time,
right.
all of a sudden it'll click.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Sometimes you do in order to, and that's part of the natural learning method is
Because
sometimes.
then I'm looking at the endings of the words and I'm thinking, oh yeah, this is the, you're asking to whom, or, like who's doing the action versus,
Right.
et cetera.
Yeah, but try not to, see, how do I want to put, let's see, Maria's on, right? Can you unmute Maria? Have you fallen
Yes.
asleep?
No,
Okay.
I'm awake.
Yeah.
I asked a question actually.
Oh, did you? I didn't see it. Oh, there we go. Yeah,
Alex
Maria.
already answered.
Yeah, okay. Maria, your native language is Filipino?
Yes.
Okay. And of course, you speak very good English. So when you're
Apparently.
speaking English, you sit there and echo in your mind what it is in Filipino.
All the time.
Really? So when
Well,
you
there
said
goes your
all the
theory.
time in your mind, you did that in Filipino, right?
Actually, no.
Ah, okay, that's what I thought. See, if you took the time to map each of the English words to Filipino, you'd be back on page 5 of this lesson. So what the point I'm trying to the point I'm trying to make is try not to get try to think in Latin when you read it. That's about the only way that I can phrase this. I don't know if anybody's got any other suggestions. So when I read this, I just say centum servi manius est numerus servorum servorum. Now, if you want me to translate, you say, oh, I don't understand that. I need a translation. Now you got to think about what that means and translate it into meaningful English. And you have two ways of doing this. I can do the literal. Great is the number of thy servants or your servants. Or I can say, the number of your servants is a big number or something like that. When you translate into English, you will often need to massage things for, and when I say translate, I mean translate so others can appreciate that meaning. In this class, we'll do fairly literal because I want you guys to map those Latin words to meanings in your mind. And so, you need to know what each word is.
Well, when I read that Magnus est numerus servorum tutorum, I kept staring at that word Magnus. What? Okay, large.
Yeah.
Large is the number. Well, then I thought, well, large is the number.
Yep.
Large? Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess that's what it is. I was going to say big is the number. I'm sitting there.
Well,
big,
again, understand that in English, there are certain ways you say things.
Mhm.
Those are not necessarily the way you say it in Latin, okay?
But then when I get it like large is the number, and I finally figure that out, then okay, Magnus est numerus. So then that whole sentence means meaning to me.
Good.
But
Good.
again, I'm thinking in English and not in Latin.
Try not to do that.
I know.
It may be that you need to do that for a while, but you'll find that it will slow you down. Like I said, if centum to me is another word for 100. So I don't have to say 100.
And
I
that's what I thought the
remember-
word centum meant was 100.
It does, it does.
But like I said, when we go prior to section 3, where that near the end of section 2, where they use centrum.
Not
uh,
Centrum, that's a vitamin.
That's right. I'm sorry. Here,
Centum,
centum.
centum,
Say it again.
centum. Pretend there's a CH in there.
Centum. Oh, okay. There you go. That works. Centum. When they use that, let me go back to it. See, that's where I was getting a little confused. Okay, yeah, well, okay. Centum is just the number. Okay, I
Yep,
got it.
just a number, centum, yeah.
And then centum est magnus numerus.
Yep.
Centum is a large number, I guess, right?
Yeah, let's see that. Well, yeah. Centum est magnus numerus. Literally 100 is a big number.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'd agree with that.
all right. I just gotta start speaking in Latin.
Well, yeah, and this is going to take a little while to get the hang of that. Okay.
Okay,
It's very common when you are first taught a foreign language to do what I refer to as the secret decoder ring. That's okay. I mean,
well, let
sometimes
me ask, is any of the other newbies having a problem or struggling like I am? Or is it just me? Maybe I'm what's that word? I'm dyslexic.
no, it's not dyslexic.
Yeah, I'm beginning to wonder.
It's probably something worse.
I'm paying for all those sins I did in the 60s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. We'll open that question up. How are people reading this?
Please.
Are they doing it directly, or are they doing it with the secret decoder ring? Actually, that's an important question because I'd like to know.
Yeah, so would I. I mean, then I'm thinking maybe I'm in the wrong class.
So secret decoder ring, that's basically like translating each and every word,
Yeah.
kind
something
of like
like
trying to. Yeah, that's where I am currently, although I'm trying to get out of that. But like, I mean, sometimes I can kind of look at it and just guess the meaning. Like, centum est magnus numerus. That's 100 is a big number because centum like century, magnus major number.
Well, yeah,
Like, the
I
more
get all the other parts of the sentence, but then when they just have that one word that throws you off, and then I sit there and I labor over it. But again, I think I'm trying to translate it into English.
Yeah, what's curious is I don't see centum in the side notes. I'll have to see.
No, it does have it. It says centum and it just says equals 100.
Where is it hiding? Is it on?
You know what? It might be in,
Maybe it's in the previous chapter. Oh, well.
no. It's in the first part, that disco.
Latine disco.
I think it's there where they,
That could be.
and that's where I get,
Yeah, that could be.
okay.
Centum.
So
So,
anybody else
Gary,
besides
when you,
that-
let me ask Gary, clarify that. When you say directly, what do you mean by directly, Gary? Meaning you translate it directly into English, or you read it directly in?
Oh, I just try to read it, just try to get the gist of what's been said. I don't try and translate it in my mind. I just try to
Okay.
read it. Yeah.
Yeah, that is the preferable method if you can master that. Now, I will grant you that occasionally I will come up on a sentence in Latin that is rather tortuous, convoluted. And there I will get out my secret decoder ring. But, ideally you should try and avoid that. So, that's, as I said, that can be a struggle. As far as homework, yeah, go on to, we'll go ahead and give that. Let's see here. Oh,
Question.
I didn't update it. Yeah, well, let
I'm
me,
slightly behind. I'm still kind of in the first chapter, but
okay.
is so Asia. I know it's Asia in Latin, but anyway, it's does it have any like macrons or no? I can't.
Asia?
Yeah. Do like the A's have macrons, or is it just like?
Okay, Asia.
Yeah, if it's in Asia.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. Yeah, Asia as it stands by itself. The A in Asia can either be long or short.
If it comes after in, the second.
Well, I'm talking about the first one. I'm talking about the nominative form. Let's start with it. The nominative form, the first A can be long. I don't recall. I believe in the Familia Romana, they don't put a macron over the A, over the first A, but certainly the last A, as in Asia,
Right.
that has to have a long A.
And that's where they have all the exercises. So,
Correct.
Thank you.
it's just the second A that has the
Yeah.
macron. And when it follows the word in.
Thanks.
Okay, let's see, where were we? Okay, as far as homework, actually read part 3 now. We've done part 1 and, well, ideally you should have done part 1 and 2 already. Finish those up and started on part 3.
And then in part 1 and 2, how far are we supposed to be in the exercises? Because I think I'm starting to fall behind.
Actually, most people are a bit behind. The chapter, let's see, we'll go here. There are 4 exercises on part 1 and 5 exercises on part 2, and then 2 exercises on part 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exercises on part 4.
So by next time, we should be through
Ideally,
part
you should
4
be-
of the
no,
exercises.
no, part 3. You don't have, yeah, you're not on part 4 yet. Ideally, you should be through part 3 and then all the way through, whoops, where'd part 3 go? Yeah, 10 and 11.
Yeah, I'm not even close.
So,
That, I read the second part, 62 through 69.
Uh-huh.
And then I did the exercises regarding those. And then about halfway through, I got, so now I'm forcing myself, I'm not forcing myself, I'm going back to reread this to see.
well,
Why
that's
the
okay.
questions were asking if I can
Going
pick up
back
the
and going back and rereading is perfectly acceptable. Okay.
Okay,
Is whoops, okay, where'd my little Zoom has gone away. There we go. Well, my little control bar for Zoom, I wanted to switch back to let's do it this way. Yoo-hoo. Curious, did I close it? All right, hold on. Okay, I'm going to close this window for a second, see what happens. There we go.
who is that mask man?
There we go. For some reason or other, it totally hid my my application windows. I don't know why. Okay, let's see, where are we here? Chat participants, there we go.
Okay, I read chapter 2, I read Latina Disco,
Yeah.
and section 2, exercises 5 through 9. I got through 5, and then 6 is just, kind of like responding, and I'm halfway through 7, and that's where I kind of went,
Yeah,
and that's where it's forcing me now to go back and read. What I do is I look at the questions and I go, okay, now I have to go back and reread it again.
that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, no, in fact, it's, let's see, where'd I go here? Where'd it go? Let's see here. I'll find it this way. Let's see where the grade book is. Let's see here. Well, you're not too bad. You're on, let's see, the last one I graded was, oh, exercise. Well, wait, hold on. I spoke too
Well, I
soon.
know I sent in exercise 5, I think.
Oh, there we
today,
go.
and I
Yeah,
hate it.
yeah. You're on chapter 2. You did exercise 5. Yeah. Mhm.
Correct.
So yeah, you're not too far behind.
Okay.
A little bit. And by the way, I'm kind of pushing everybody intentionally to get stuff done. I don't want to spend, months on a single chapter.
Oh, absolutely.
Or when the year is up, we're only on chapter 3 or 4. But if everybody does get behind, if it's obvious in the class that it's too much, then I will, we'll do a redo, if you wish, of a chapter to help everybody catch up.
Okay.
But you didn't hear that, so,
I got it.
or at least don't tell yourself that.
Okay, so finish through 5 to 9.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
the next
actually, we
chapter
want to
is
be
just the 2,
section
right?
3.
Section 2.
Well,
5 through, then I could be section 3.
yeah, you should now be on section. Yeah, these are from last time. So you should be on section 3, and it should be all the way through. Hold on, maybe ideally, and I realize that may be too much. That should be through exercise 11. So actually 10 and 11. There we go. But hey, if we get now, some people have been on vacation and various folks can't make it, so we may do a review. We may take an extra day, or sorry, an extra class to review everything in chapter 2. I kind of am in I'd like to get to chapter 3 fairly soon, simply because chapter 3 introduces verbs. So the only verbs that you really have had so far, est, is, and sunt are, and they'll start introducing verbs, so we can have a little more action, if you wish, in some of the chapters. But yeah. So, any other questions? Because otherwise, it's pretty close to 9.
No.
Okay. Well then, let's make sure there's no. Yeah, here we go. So, all right, let's sign off here. We'll say the final prayer, and I'll stay on for a little bit while, not nearly so long as we stayed on last time.
Paid for it the next day. Huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
I hear you.
Yeah. Anyway, so in nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen. I would like, in fact, next time I will do the multicolored Hail Mary. What that is you actually have had, in some form or another, a lot of the words that are in the Ave Maria, or at least be able to recognize, okay, that's feminine, that's feminine, that's feminine. Dominus, okay, we've had that. Benedicta, that's feminine. Mulieribus, you haven't had that one yet. Benedictus, you can guess that's masculine. And then Jesus. And so some of these should be Note, oh yeah, in hora. Okay, remember in Italia, you had the long A at the end. Well, in hora, hora being hour. So you can't really fill in all of these, but you can fill in quite a few of these. We've had the et, so it's getting there. So don't I know it's difficult. Okay, we do not teach foreign languages, unlike Europe, where you have constant exposure to foreign languages. We tend not to teach them in grade school, although I don't know, maybe that's changing a bit with the
Except Spanish.
yeah, with the Hispanic. Well, and again, it depends where you live in the country. So certainly down here, it's more common.
Hey, Michael, in the Ave Maria,
Mhm.
the second part of it, benedicta tui in mulieribus,
Benedicta tu in mulieribus. Mhm.
mulieribus, US, that's masculine, but it means women.
Well, okay. This is a third declension noun. We've had first and second.
Yeah.
And the ending on this is actually an ibus, IBUS.
There's no I in there, it's just US.
It's,
No, IBUS. All four.
Oh, IBUS, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
the-
now, okay,
it's the
now.
ablative. It's the
Yeah,
ablative.
yeah,
verb.
it's the ablative form. Now, if you remember, okay, now I blank these out because we don't have them yet. But there's a quibus and a quibus and a quibus. Okay,
Right?
so that ibus ending occurs in certain nouns in Latin. So
Jesus.
yeah. Oh yeah, we're going to give you so many endings that you won't know what to do with them all.
Yeah, to say, yeah, it's masculine, feminine, and neuters all the same.
For this particular, yeah, and let's see, up here. Oh, okay, they're east. Sorry, that's the wrong set. Yes, yeah. Well, even okay, even hold on, even when we come up here, you see similarities
Between the dative and
between
the.
the between all of them. Well, I'm thinking the masculine and neuter. I's for the genitive, datives are O's, accusative are all UMs, ablatives are all O's. Plural is different. Well, plural are all I's for the second, but the neuters are A, and then the orum and the is. So you're going to see a lot of similar endings. And so the ibus being
Particularly the dative and the ablative.
yeah, the dative and the ablative. So the ibuses, in fact, for plural, the
Well,
dative
except for
and the
plural.
ablative plurals are always the same.
Yeah.
It's not true of the singular in all cases. So, so anyway, yeah, don't worry. Plenty of endings.
All right. Maybe I'm jumping ahead or whatever.
That's all right.
These
Anyway, I'm
little
going
things-
to stop the recording. We'll officially end the class there. As I said, I'll stay on for a few minutes